Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to That Park Place. My name is Vash Sky. I'm going to be your host of today's ceremonies, talking about possums at Disney World. Oh my goodness gracious. Here I have MJ and Erika. Definitely check out Erika and Raf right there. And hey, why don't you go ahead and go over to MJ over there and give her a follow over there on X. Awesome stuff. There you go from people. Possum, awesome stuff. Oh boy. Possum crawls onto table of Disney World guests in wild encounter caught on video. Exclusive. Quote, "It was so funny, it brought us so much joy." The TikTok user who shared the ordeal tells people. Yes, Disney World guests recorded a bizarre encounter with a possum at the Magic Kingdom. The guest who posted a video on TikTok says that she saw the large rodent during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party in November. And she thought it was very funny, and it brought her so much joy. I guess we have no other choice but to play the video. Guys, if anybody is squirrely around rodents, you might want to go ahead and look away right here. It is amazing because this possum, he crosses space and time. We'll get to that part in just a moment right here. But here you go. You can see right there, people are getting in on their dinners, but this possum, well, he was getting in on it too. Freeloading possum. Look at that. People, they pay hundreds of dollars to sit in these seats right here, overlooking, I think, Tomorrowland Terrace, looking at the castle, and yet we have to contend with possums and rodents. Guys, your reactions of a possum at Disney World getting in on the holiday merriment.
He's like, "Ooh, doo, 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 don't mind me, just giving me the snacks."
Yep, and he's looking into the little glass right there filled with, I don't know, butter, cheese.
He's really going at it. He was hungry, but he got free admission. He didn't have to pay for the fireworks dessert party.
That's true, and Disney doesn't like that. They'll kick you out of there for sure. But the possum was able to successfully sneak in right there. Now, I did hint at this possum, being able to get around. And while I was at Disneyland and I was waiting for the Disneyland Railroad, actually, I think I was waiting for the sweeper train, which is the last railroad circuit that train takes on a nightly basis. And as I was waiting at the Main Street train station, look at this. The possum made its way over to Disneyland in Anaheim. I couldn't believe it. Look at that. He looks like he's much fuller now.
This is actually advertisement for a Goofy movie sequel. They're promoting Lester's Possum Park.
That's, what? That's a stroke of marketing genius right there. That is fantastic. He was traveling down the railroad tracks right there, looking for, I don't know, maybe some more food, like he found over there at the.
He must have been traveling 88 miles per hour.
Yes. Traveling across time and space to get there to Anaheim. Very interesting stuff. I was shocked. And thankfully, there was a conductor who made their way onto the platform and was able to shoo away the possum before the train actually came in. So don't worry, no possums were harmed.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Right, yeah, it could have been a very a flat possum right there. But yes, possums at Disney. I will say, on a more serious note, I have seen a little bit of an uptick when it comes to rodents. When it comes to insects at Disney parks. Has this been consistent with your experiences going to the parks post-pandemic? Will anybody join in here?
Oh, that's a good
Not
point.
really. I will say, though, if there's construction and you're disturbing any natural habitat, you probably will get an uptick of animal life and insect life. So,
poor guy. He was on Tom Sawyer's and they ruined his house.
They
probably.
the
honestly, that's probably where he may have come from, is back that way.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even think about that, Erika. Good point.
I think we covered a story in which there was a bunch of distinct wildlife that was actually displaced because of the rivers of America having been removed. And I do believe that there were some either Disney employees or somebody, animal rights groups or something, that made their way in to Rivers of America and were able to relocate at least a lot of the fish and some of the other wildlife that was actually featured there. So, Erika, you actually might be right about this, about being displaced. That does happen. I will say
the
one that got away. On that same railroad platform, that being the Main Street train station over there at Disneyland, as I was coming down, I'd say it was 2022, 2023, something like that, There was a big infestation of cockroaches on the steps right there, and it was very worrisome. I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" Never had quite seen it before. And again, that was after the parks have been closed for what 412 days, from I want to say March of 2020 through April of 2021, and so I have seen critters kind of come out as these parks were largely abandoned at that time. I don't remember seeing anything at Walt Disney World when I was last there in August of 2023. But, well, it looks like maybe a similar effect happening out there. MJ, have you noticed anything in your recent parks travels? Like maybe possums, rodents, insects, anything else?
Not that I can think of. But I have seen some vloggers, some people that visit the parks way more frequently than I do. In Epcot, there's a bit of a rat problem.
Oh,
And
interesting.
and they were like around the France area. So I'm like, he's just, doing a meet and greet, but I have to
Yeah.
find those clips and send them over to you. But other than that, no, because we went right after COVID when, the parks reopened. We were right there,
Right.
So I
That
didn't see
was,
anything out of the ordinary. I just think that it's crazy to me that like a cast member or Erika would probably know that they have special type of cast members that deal with wildlife, right? Like not getting into like food. This guy
mhm.
is obviously he's hungry. You would think that they would have people like on standby since you're paying so much money to watch the fireworks party. You're having dessert. You don't want any like, possums or wildlife to just show up at your table. I mean, I'm just curious. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
Honestly, for Floridians, or at least Tampa area, like, we wouldn't care. My mom had a possum that came up to the back of the door all the time to eat the cat eat the cat's food.
Oh man.
So we just left him alone. I mean, and it looked like he was, scavenging on leftovers. I think most of the people that, had already eaten and probably left, because
I hope
I
so.
don't think I don't think, a wild possum would really be approaching an active, like, human. So it made sense that he was just on the outskirts and just going for tables that nobody was there. And for the most part, people know, not to mess with the wildlife and are very forgiving because they understand, it's going to happen. You're going to see ducks, you're going to see rabbits, and possums is another thing you see in Central Florida. So I think there's a lot of forgiveness there. If anything, there'd be concern, that he would need to be put in his natural habitat, for his safety.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Not
you
roaming around
know,
the Magic Kingdom, getting front row
yeah,
seats to
and
fireworks. This
but
little
it's
guy.
I don't know, it's
Oh
it's
man.
so fun. They're adorable, but I mean, I wouldn't approach one. They'd probably bite your hand off.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Then
You know,
and then you don't know if
it's
they're yeah, and then you
There's
don't
a
know what
lot
they
of people
carry.
though that are coming in from all over the world and they're not used to seeing that kind of thing. And they don't know what kind of, animal or rodent they're dealing with because they can be dangerous. They hiss at you. Sometimes they bite. I don't know.
right. Yeah, you
Mm.
definitely, don't want to lock eyes with one. That's for sure right there. Look, it's very interesting. Disneyland has had a remarkable history when it comes to rodents, and they, Disney back in the day brought in cats in order to deal with that rodent problem right there. In
Oh
fact, there were so
yeah.
many cats inside the Sleeping Beauty castle initially when the park was actually built. They didn't have a walkthrough or anything inside. It was just, largely just scaffolding and everything else in order to keep that facade up. And Walt himself went with somebody who was wearing a white suit through the innards of Sleeping Beauty Castle. And when he came out, because there were so many cats in there and the fleas, his suit was gray by the time he left.
Ooh.
So it's like that's going back to 55. And when the pandemic happened, all those cats that were keeping those rats at bay. I don't know what actually happened to many of them. Some of them did not return, and so I do think that the effects of COVID have done something here when it comes to these creatures, this wildlife coming actually in here, at least at Disneyland's level. For Florida, I think Erica's completely right. I think it's a variety of other factors in Central Florida, and they just took it away as home at Rivers of America. So maybe we can expect more of these possum encounters to come. But I want to go ahead and hear from you in the comment section. Have you guys ever heard of something like this? Have you seen possums yourself when it comes to a Disney park? Have you seen like armadillos or anything else? Because I might have, maybe at this resort, hotel, possibly. But I want to go ahead and hear from you when it comes to all of these insect encounters, possum encounters, rodent encounters. I think that's going to be quite fun right there. Hopefully this video did brighten up your day. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button right there. If it didn't, you can hit dislike. It's fine. We'll go ahead and take it. If you got any high points right there, that would definitely help us out. And if you haven't yet subscribed subscribe to That Park Place for all the news. That should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.